Recording for Friday's 11-game main slate. James, a big slate here to end the week.
Happy Friday, John. Big slate to end the week. No Coors Field, no Great American Ballpark, no great hitting environments whatsoever. Boston away from Fenway. No Yankees on the slate. It's going to be an interesting slate. Some rain in the forecast, like there's been much of the last week and a half, 2 weeks seemingly. There's just been rain consistently across the country. We have some solid pitching up top. We have some solid mid-tier pitching, some solid offenses in play. So overall, a fun slate to end the work week here.
Yep, 100% here. You mentioned possible rain. Again, you're just kind of looking at these DraftKings symbols here. East Coast wise, Philly and New York. We got Boston versus the Phillies, the Rockies against the Mets. Some potential weather there. Obviously, we'll recording here on Thursday evening, so a long ways to go before we figure out just how impactful those games will be, if at all. And then we have over in St. Louis, Detroit, St. Louis also potentially dealing with some weather. So stay tuned to the Weather Center here. Tune into the live stream that James and I do at 5 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll give you all the updates when it comes to the weather. James, when we head on over to Las Vegas here, what are we looking at with 11 games? What targets, what matchups are we looking to target here today?
So on the money line, biggest favorite currently, Jordan Montgomery is actually not the biggest favorite. Kodai Senga and the New York Mets are the biggest favorite, minus 250 over, minus 230 on DraftKings Sportsbook over the Colorado Rockies. They are hosting that game, but again, weather concerns there. Jordan Montgomery gets to host the Detroit Tigers. They are minus 230 favorites in St. Louis. We have Max Fried and the Atlanta Braves minus 200 favorites over the Baltimore Orioles. So we have three minus 200 favorites. We have, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are pitching Merrill Kelly, minus 175. I see on some places minus 190, so upper anywhere from 175 to minus 190 for the Diamondbacks hosting the Washington Nationals. And Zach Wheeler minus 165 over the Boston Red Sox, despite the Red Sox solid play. That's just Wheeler getting the respect at home. We could see that line change, I guess, by the time rosters lock. Let's head over to the total. Let's see if there's anything notable there.
I gotta say, I don't know if we're getting swerved here by DraftKings, but I'm looking at the St. Louis weather.
Looks fine.
10, mostly cloudy, 10% precipitation.
We'll get an update from Kevin Roth.
We'll get an update from Roth, obviously, a little bit later. But you mentioned the big favorite there, and then I was looking Montgomery at $8,600.
Right, why?
That feels. Listen, he hasn't been the best pitcher at times this year, but lately he's been great. So, that would be a lock on an 11-game slate if that weather holds.
So let's see. The total in that game too, just 8 runs. The favorite, it's about even money at 8. So not a lot of runs expected in that game. A game that does have some runs expected is Oakland, Kansas City. Who's this projected starter for Oakland here? Kyle Muller. Kyle Muller is the expected starter. Okay. I have MLB.com open too, just to make sure, because we've been swerved a couple times. All right, they have Muller projected as well. So Muller versus Brad Keller is the projected matchup in that game. That's the highest.
The ace Brad Keller?
The ace Brad Keller. Yeah, that's the highest projected total. Hey, man, Kansas City has had some breakouts in the last couple of years.
Brad Keller's only $6,600. Are we actually playing Brad Keller?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll
get to it.
We'll get to it. But what's Merrill Kelly's price all about here?
Merrill Kelly gets a bad rap for no reason, I think. There's no other notable totals. 9 in the Kansas City Oakland game, and then we have a bunch of games with 8, 8.5. Maybe that changes by the time we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern, but yeah, nothing notable on the total side.
Let's go to the pitching here. I don't know. Are you interested? The first pitcher, I guess, for me would be Javier. I mean,
The first one you'd be interested in? Not
yeah.
Kershaw?
You want Kershaw versus the Padres?
I mean, it's again, we've talked about it like kind of a lot this year. I
They did just
understand.
score a lot of runs the other day, though. They could be waking up.
I'm not saying that they aren't.
13 runs the last. What was it they scored there? What did they just score? Didn't they just score a whole bunch of runs the other day?
You're looking for Tatis? Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Like, I mean, outside of the obviously Mexico games, 15 runs the last two games.
Yeah, I guess they actually have been pretty good against lefties too. 10th in OPS.
Yeah, we thought we tempted them with the strikeout, I think, potential for them, but like they hit a lot. So
I guess where I was coming from more so was like Kershaw also just won pitcher of the month in the NL, and he's been awesome. Like he has been one earned run over his last 20 innings.
sure.
You know, no, we don't have to. It's 10-8.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's giving you 230 plus 36 fantasy point performances. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel as confident, but I get where you're coming from on that for sure. Maybe he becomes low rostered because of that matchup against San Diego. Wheeler against Boston, the way Boston's been hitting the ball, I don't know if you want to touch that spot. Senga against Colorado, like probably good, but the walks are so brutal with him.
The walks are brutal. Let's look at the Rockies' walk rate. 24th against righties, so 7.6%. So they don't walk a lot. I'll pull up on the road.
I mean, even if they don't walk a lot, if Senga's just not throwing strikes either, like, I mean, I guess are they chasing a lot? I mean,
it's about the same thing on the road. They also have a 614 team OPS away from Coors. It's 29th.
Oh, I know how bad they are away from Coors. To me, it's just like Senga might pitch himself out of
the game, yeah.
Right? Like
might not pitch long enough to get a win. Yeah. You're not wrong.
I mean, even if he goes to 5, I mean, against Washington, right? Like 5 innings, 2 earned, 4 walks, 7 Ks, 94 pitches, 15.9 fantasy points.
Sure.
If they don't get, I mean, if he doesn't get a win and he gives you that stat line, that's not even close to paying off 10-2. He hasn't paid off 10-2 in 4 starts. So, I'm very hesitant to want to trust that. Castillo's a good pitcher, obviously, but like his offense is giving him 0. Which is why I kind of go to Javier and I'm like, well, Seattle's offense is one of the worst in baseball right now. So
I wonder, like, what do you make of? And I know there's no Altuve and they've been missing Jordan for a bit. What do you make of Houston being the 25th ranked team against righties this year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, we've seen that inconsistency with them. Like Bregman got off to a really slow start. Payne got off to a really slow start. They're starting to feels like they're starting to come alive a little bit. But again, I don't know if they're going to score on Castillo. He's been nails, but I feel more confident in Javier against Seattle.
Yeah.
Shutting that lineup down. But even I don't know if you even need to go there necessarily. Because I really like Jordan Montgomery here at $8,600. Excuse me. You mentioned Max Fried being a pretty big favorite. He in the rain game, we all knew was coming, right? We knew they were just going to zoom through 5 innings against the Mets. 5 innings, no runs, 7 strikeouts, 31 fantasy points, right? The guy has been
complete game shutout.
Yeah, complete game shutout, right? Because of the 5 innings, right? Still,
dude, he is a. This is ridiculous pricing.
Yeah,
I don't care how good Baltimore is against lefties. I don't. This is ridiculous pricing.
It's a really good matchup for him. Bailey Ober, as you mentioned, wasn't on the slate the other day, but back-to-back starts for him, 5 2/3 innings, an earned run, decent strikeouts. Cleveland's lineup is shaky at best.
Dude, weirdly identical stat lines, by the way, for Bailey Ober. I don't know if you just looked at that.
Yeah.
Same exact fantasy points, same exact outs, same exact runs, same exact earned runs, almost the same like
Everything.
pitches, batter's face. Like that is odd.
Yeah, he got the win in one and didn't get the win in the other. So the 2 strikeouts, that was literally the difference there. So
Yep.
But like Merrill Kelly and Brad Keller are here. Like Merrill Kelly, why is he $6,800? Is it? I mean, I get Washington doesn't strike out.
I mean, there's a very safe floor.
It feels like it
with Merrill Kelly.
I know he hasn't been good at home. His home starts were against the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Padres, though.
It's not like he's been terrible in those starts. He had 7 strikeouts against Milwaukee. He's put double-digit fantasy points up in every single start this year.
Yeah, right? Like, if he gets the win in Milwaukee instead of the loss, it's 22 fantasy points. Yeah, like Merrill Kelly just feels like a misprice, and then Keller gets Oakland. So, I mean, we've talked about Keller, brutal walks lately, 16 walks the last 3 starts is what's doing him in. But we saw how he started the year, pretty strong stretch there. So, coming off of an okay outing against Minnesota, $6,600 for Brad Keller. So, I don't know, man. I'm just looking at this value mid tier, and I'm like, maybe I spend up on bats today, right? Like, right. I get to Javier. Nobody else really above him is like screaming like you must play me. So I don't know. It's how I'm approaching, or at least currently approaching the pitching slate.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing either with like I do like guys at the top. So I wouldn't just like cross any of those guys off my player pool, but it does feel pretty like I'm not going to say must play territory with Montgomery and Fried, but like, dude, Max Fried is like a 10K pitcher. We're getting, and this was my argument. You were on your bachelorette party with his last start, I think, or was it the Houston start? And I was just like, dude, it was with Howard.
I was here for the Mets start.
Okay.
I was away for the Houston start.
Okay. I was just like, dude, he is too cheap. Oh, yeah, right. You talked about. We talked about the 5 innings and but he's just been too cheap all year. And is it because he was injured? Is it because he got injured? Like, there's no reason Max Fried is an 8,100 pitcher, 8,200 pitcher. It's a 9K plus pitcher. Baltimore has some thump, sure, against lefties. They're 5th in OPS. Like, I get it. Max Fried is just the better. Like, I will take Max Fried in that matchup like almost every time. So 8,200 for Max Fried is a misprice. And you mentioned, I mean, Montgomery had 1 bad start and had his price chopped in half, and then came back 2 starts in a row, dominated, and so like, you know what, we'll just continue to chop your price. So yeah, I largely agree. I like Bailey Ober. Merrill Kelly I like more than Brad Keller. I know the matchup is good for Keller, but you mentioned it, the walks and also the strikeouts have been down. Like, we were getting the 2 of the first 3 starts for Keller this year, we got 6 and 7 strikeouts. The last 3 games we have 8 combined.
Hard to strike guys out when you're walking 16.
Yeah, so like I'm a little less bullish. I understand if someone gets
ground balls though. 10
the ground balls are great.
9, I mean,
great. The ground balls are great. The matchup is great. We did just see a guy in George Kirby strike out 3 Oakland batters over 7 innings, which was infuriating, obviously, for many reasons. And I'm not saying Brad Keller is going to do that because Oakland strikes out more than anyone against righties this year. I'm just saying, like, that is annoying. And if Brad Keller's already not missing bats, like, if Oakland is turning some type of corner in that regard, that's going to be even more frustrating for us. So I probably am a little less bullish than you on him, but I understand getting there. After that, though, it's like
we're not playing any.
Sean Manaea is what you're gonna ask because
I am going to ask you about Sean Manaea here.
I get it. Milwaukee is actually
they're
God
atrocious
awful. They are
against
actually
left-handed
just
pitching.
so bad against lefties. I don't know how else to say it. They're just so bad against lefties.
There's no way Shaman. I mean, Patrick
Hold on,
Corbin had a good start today.
rephrase whatever you're about to say. There's no way, right?
Patrick Corbin had his best start in like 3 years today. So like
Sure.
anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett once said. I
don't know.
6 home runs allowed to righties for Minaya this year.
Yep.
They don't have a great batting average against them, but they have like 273 for lefties, 260 for righties is like okay. 500 slug, 694 slug. They're just hitting a ton of extra base hits off of Shamanaya here.
But I am.
How many lineups do you have to be making to get Shamanaya in one? If you make 10, does he get in one? If you make 20, does he get
10.
in one?
I was gonna say 5, but I
okay.
think that's a little. I think that's a little ambitious because, like, if the slate started today, or
They have the highest strikeout rate against lefties this year, 30.9%.
If the slate started right now, I would probably exclude him if I was building 5 lineups, but if I was building anything more than 5, I would probably have a singular share.
Right. Just for context, again, Milwaukee on the year, 30.9% strikeout rate, highest in the league, 207 batting average, 607 OPS, 279 batting average in balls in play, which sure, 271 WOBA, like just they're last in like everything against left-handed pitching. It's not good.
Yeah, and they got literally
330. The only team worse than them in slugging and ISO is the Yankees, which is also hilarious.
They got dunked on by Kyle Freeland. Literally dunked on.
In course. Shut down by Kyle Freeland today. In the year of 2023, are we pitching Shamanaya in a lineup? Is that what
we're not using? We're not using him on this program. We're not using him in our lineup.
Is that what we're doing here? All right, okay. I can't wait for this to be the clip we put out tomorrow. All right, let's go on over to catcher. Again, a lot of elite talent up here at the top. If you're not going Shamanaya, William Contreras is right there at $5,100.
He's gonna hit third against lefty.
He is. Excuse me. Salvi against Mueller probably looks pretty good at 43.
Yep. He homered again on Thursday. He's really rolling lately. Something we talked about, right, John? Casey heating up.
Yeah, Jonah Heim versus a lefty. Is that his right split?
No, but I think this year is every split. I think he's just hitting against everyone this year. I think last year he was better against righties, but this year he is hitting 375.
No, last year better against lefties. 267,
cool.
833 OPS, 500 slug.
Perfect. Then right side, very small sample, but I mean par for the course. If last year was the same thing, 375 average, 499 WOBA,
750 slug. It's only 16 at bats. But 4 extra base hits in 16. 4 of his 6 hits extra bases against lefties this year. So Jonah Heim
and Anderson against righties this year getting literally torched. 930 OPS, 398 WOBA allowed.
Well, Josh Jung, Jonah Heim, Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, wait till you hear the Jung numbers against lefties.
Oh, I know they're insane. Well, I sent you the text. I stacked the Rangers like 2 nights in a row against the Yankees. Don't stack them against Nestor Cortez. And Jung hits the grand slam. It was like unbelievable. Gabriel Moreno is always fine at $3,500. I'm playing there. Let's see. Anybody else for you in there?
Maybe Chad Wallach.
Okay.
Maybe. He's been fine as like a punt.
Sure.
Eric Haas, if you're not playing Montgomery, homered 2 straight games, hadn't hit a homer, then homered in 2 straight. He's $3,000. We know he hits lefties. That was
Mhm.
your plug and play before
Yeah, he was like
Even Yan Gomes.
$2,600 for like
Yeah.
a year just against lefties. So
So I would consider that. Francisco Alvarez, again, another option. Hasn't been great, but like Senzatella making his debut, we know Senzatella is just not a very good pitcher.
yeah.
And
I
then
know Zach Wheeler is good, but Reese McGuire is hitting 340. He just keeps on 2 more hits tonight. Like the Red Sox catchers right now are just on fire. So
whatever Red Sox catcher is in, and then okay, I don't know if this kid's gonna be in the lineup. I guess it depends on Salvi's injury, but they called up this dude Freddie Furman, um, and he like played. He was on the roster, and then he replaced Salvi, and then he gets called back up. He gets sent down, gets immediately called back up the next day. Was a double away from the cycle.
yeah, today 3 for
They
4.
they announced they're using Melendez full time in the outfield moving forward.
Right. So you think they have like Salvi DH and
Yeah,
this kid
and
catch?
that's what they did on Thursday. So I'm just wondering, like he was really, really, really good at AAA this year. He's not like much of a prospect. He's 27 years old, but he had a 293, 408, 561 slash before getting called up.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if he's in the lineup. He's 2K. Like righty. Casey has been a bandbox. I mean,
Right.
that's serious and against
Well,
the.
it gets warm in Kansas City, the ball flies out of the park. Like that's just the way it is.
So it's obviously tough if you're playing Royals where you're like, yes, I'm going to play Furman over Salvi. Like that's obviously a tough sell. But like, what if Salvi's not in the lineup again? You
Right.
know? So just throwing that out there.
He's a 2K catcher.
2K
So
catcher. 2K catcher that could be in the lineup coming off a game where he was a double away
31
from
fantasy points.
double
So
away from us. Yeah, double away from a cycle.
yeah, I don't mind it. All right, first base position over here now. So long scroll to the top. They give you Otani. You got Alonso versus Senzatella. Matt Olson against Dan Kramer feels pretty juicy there.
Yep.
Goldschmidt does get a lefty and Boyd at 53.
He's heating up too.
Yeah, he did. He certainly is. Christian Walker homered twice today. He gets Josiah Gray. I don't know if it's not the lefty right split for him, but it's a thing. So I mean, pretty solid options at the top here.
Yeah. I love Olson. I'm gonna pull up the Creamer and Boyd splits because I think
Walker
those
got
are.
4 homers the last 5 games and at least 2 hits in 4 of 5.
Shout out Christian Walker. Let's see. Righties, he's hitting against right-handed 257, 307 WOBA. So like obviously he's just hitting lefties better, but still, not those aren't bad. Those aren't
And
like bad numbers.
Senzatella is on the mound, so
Yeah, making his season debut. So Matthew Boyd against righties. Goldschmidt, by the way, hitting 320 against lefties to nobody's surprise, right? Senzatella or Matt Boyd against righties, 278 average allowed, but 810 OPS, 354 WOBA. So Goldschmidt in a really good split advantage here. And what was the other one? Dean Kramer, right? Dean Kramer against left-handed. Oh, buddy.
give it to me.
Oh, buddy, John.
Give it to me.
Braves in Truist. Dean Kramer against left-handed bats this year. 390 average allowed, 1,000 OPS, 454 WOBA.
So I can play my guy Hilliard again.
You can play Hilliard.
Been a while.
For sure. They have
Olsen.
Michael Harris is back,
Harris is
I
lefty.
believe. He started the last 2 games. He
Yep.
homered as well. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Okay.
Decent little mini sack
So
maybe going on.
I mean, mini sack. I might play 5 Braves. Matt Olson would be 1A to Goldschmidt 1B up here for me. Above 5K,
Okay,
and I could get to Alonso obviously, but
sure.
the Mets are having some serious issues when you getting swept by Detroit with Scherzer, Verlander on the mound.
Yeah. I mentioned Christian Walker already, but I'm just throwing him out there again.
Okay.
Hot right now. He's $4,500. Let's see here. Where do you go
Peyton
next?
Battenfield. I'm trying to look up Battenfield's numbers because that
For
could be
Gallo?
that could be interesting. Just looking at the splits in general, see if we can lose some more money on the Twins. Battenfield has been pretty bad against power,
Sure.
which is concerning. 888 OPS, 361 WOBA to lefties. So, yeah, Joey Gallo has 6 home runs and a 408 WOBA against left hand or right handed pitching. I could definitely get behind some Joey Gallo.
Sure. Value plays. Pavin Smith's got first outfield eligibility, so that's good. Can fit him in there.
Love that. Finally, right? I know he had it, I think the end of last week too, right? Like, but he should be because we're just getting handicapped not being able to play these guys.
Not really a lot else for me. I mean, I don't know. Anybody that you're keying in on down here? Value mid tier?
I might take a look at Vogelbach. He's been okay if you're playing Met stacks. It's just again, that's the Goldschmidt Pujols example of last year, where you don't play Goldschmidt but you play Pujols. Like you can do the same thing with Vogelbach. He's actually been kind of good of late. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not something that like I'm like totally sold on, but he's been good.
You know who says he hasn't been playing well?
Whom?
Is our resident Mets fan, Justin Freeland. He says he just walks. He doesn't really do anything else. And that's sort of accurate. He doesn't really
Hitting 308 his last 10 games.
He's got 1 home run. He's got 5 total extra bases all season long.
I'm not saying that's not wrong. Like Vogelbach has more power. I mean, but like 308 over his last 10.
He should have more power, but he doesn't show that power.
He can't rotate his body.
Like
Not body shaming, just saying.
No.
No body shaming here.
But he's cheap enough. Anybody else?
I would love to play these Royals again, but I don't think we really want to go lefty here.
No. All right, second base then.
Wait, can I just backtrack real quick?
Sure.
Maybe, John. Hold on. Maybe I just found something. Kyle Muller against lefties. 429 average, over 1,000 OPS, 461 WOBA.
What is Pasquantino hitting against lefties?
321 with a 418 WOBA.
Right. I mean, you know we're Pasquantino fans here, so
I'm just like looking at the Royals in general. I don't know what's going on, but they're all hitting lefties.
On that team? Did he send him down? Or is he still up?
Who?
Nick Prado? Is he up still?
He's still there. Yeah. He didn't do anything in a game they scored 10 runs, but he is he is on the team. Okay. He's only had 2 at-bats against lefties this year, so seems like we're going to get to a couple more guys that I think are going to be in the lineup against lefties that have some good numbers against them.
Fair enough. Second base is going to before.
Sorry.
Semien, the man that I loathe, $5,700. But as you mentioned here, Anderson has been dog water. So
yep, he really has.
Certainly a stack viable play.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get there. Creamer's just bad. If you want to play Albies, go for it.
Yep. All the Braves. All the Braves
are in.
All the Braves.
McNeil, I guess, if you want a good, strong double. Tommy Edman will lead off against a lefty. Homer today.
He has monstrous numbers against left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
I think this is new, right? Second base, shortstop eligible? Is that new eligibility? Because it's been just shortstop, but I think Paul DeJong has probably allowed the eligibility.
Taking shortstop?
Yeah, I assume that's my assumption because I don't remember Edman being second base.
Yeah, I agree. I don't remember a second either.
So 3,800 leads off. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine getting there.
I mean, last time we played him when he led off, he had 40 fantasy points. So
That's very accurate.
uh,
It was 41, John. Don't slide him as 1 point.
sure. Dubon just keeps trucking. So find that there.
Emmanuel Valdez.
Yeah. I mean, are you worried about Wheeler at all? Or
Yeah. I mean, that's
I mean,
like
they hung 7 on Gossman today. So
no, they're just in like a sick. They're in a sick stretch of like they're as good as anyone right now offensively.
yeah,
Offensively, they're as good.
they're
And
the third most wins in the American League.
and they're what the other two are in the AL East, right?
Yeah. They are Tampa Bay and
Yeah.
it was in Baltimore.
So Wheeler has been not great against lefties. He hasn't been like bad, but he hasn't been great. Lefties hitting 275 against them, 730 OPS, 320 WOBA. Like those are all okay. Those are all like I'm not afraid to use one of these Red Sox, and if it happens to be a 2,600 dude who just rakes, yeah, like I'm not against it.
You know what? He went 0 for 3 tonight, but if you watch the game, he had a ball that Kiermaier made a pretty good play on. He had to jump up on the warning track, the catcher, else it would have gone for at least a doubles. Dead center field, just an absolute rocket that Kiermaier made the jump catch for. So
that's what Kiermaier does. I mean,
it is. He's an elite center fielder. So allowed out by Emmanuel Valdez tonight to end his hit streak.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
we can get there. Anybody else?
No, I was gonna give a shout out to Nick Gordon. Hits in 5 straight. We're fans of Nick Gordon on this program. Home runs in 2 of his last 3 games, Sean.
Listen, I got him on a couple of basketball teams, so like
he's been heating up here. Look at this.
Something, Nick Gordon, right?
5 straight games of 9 or more fantasy points.
Where's the speed, though?
I know.
I guess if you don't get on base, he can't run, right?
So, well, he's not his brother.
True.
You know,
true.
Which also I can't believe his brother.
No D Strange.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing with this?
No D Strange Gordon, that's for sure. No Flash. Nickname's not Flash like his dad, you know.
Yeah, true.
As the closer, so.
Yeah, what a fan! I mean, I talk about this all the time with my wife. Like, some BS. Some families are just BS. Okay, they're just unfair. Like the Thompsons, how dad plays professional basketball, brother plays professional baseball. Clay plays. So it's like, Warriors, what are you doing? Like, how do these families happen?
The Stalls have 3 brothers.
It's just, I mean, what are we doing? How is this possible?
Yep. It's true. It's true. So you got D Gordon, you got Nick Gordon as brothers. Their father, Tom Flash Gordon, the longtime closer for the Red Sox. And was he a closer for the Yankees? Just a reliever for the Yankees.
He sprinkled in some closing.
Middle reliever for Rivera there.
He sprinkled in some saves, I'm sure.
Yeah. But long time closer for the Red Sox. All right, third base. Jose Ramirez is your top guy there. Devers at 57, hit his 150th career home run today. Austin Riley's at $5,200.
Max Muncy at $5,300, still hitting home runs every day.
Yeah, it gets Darvish here. It's not terrible.
I'm just saying that dude is. He's back to like the Max Muncy that still doesn't hit for average, but he just hits nothing but home runs. Like,
yeah, but we already mentioned it. Like we're playing Josh Jung here. $3,800. Go ahead and give the people the numbers, man.
All right, let's get back to those numbers. Scrolling all over the place here. Where are the Rangers? Here they are. So against left-handed pitching this year, Josh Jung is hitting .423 with 4 home runs and a .579.
Double donged yesterday. So
this is what this kid does. Like this is what he was projected to do coming into the year. Now he's hitting 5th for the Rangers nightly. He is special. He's going to be a special power hitter for a long time.
Yeah, listen, obviously the one thing you worry about him is the strikeout rate. Like he strikes out a lot, but Anderson is not a strikeout pitcher. So shouldn't have to worry about that here tonight. He hits in the middle of that lineup. And we talked about it. If you're looking to stack the Rangers tonight, Jonah Heim's at mid-low 3K price. Josh Jung here at $3,800. That's going to help you get Marcus Semien. That's going to help you get Adolis Garcia. It's going to help you get that stack tonight against the Los Angeles Angels. So getting Josh Jung here at $3,800. I know third base is usually a position that we like to spend up for. But this guy, 230-plus fantasy point games in the last three. Probably going to be popular, but a guy that I'm not going to ignore on an 11-game slate here tonight.
No. Look, Josh Jung is your prototypical power hitter, right? He strikes out and he hits home runs. And when he's rolling like this, you get him in your lineup and good things happen. He has 2 double dongs in 10 games. Like,
yeah,
this guy is just, he's a freak.
Yep.
Plus, the position drops off a cliff after him.
Yeah, Brett Beatty at 2,600 against Sensatella.
That's actually a good one. That's a really, really good one. He's been rolling.
Yeah, 375, 1054 OPS, 625 slug. We said the power would come eventually. He's got 2 homers again in the last 6 games.
Boy, what a couple good games can do for you when you're like stats don't exist, right?
When you're an elite talent as well. So, for me, like I said, we like Riley and Devers and that group. Yep. They're great, but you got to take advantage of the misprices here. Okay. So, again, I like Josh Jung a lot tonight if I'm stacking the Rangers here. If I'm maybe look good as a one-off, or if I'm spending up at pitching tonight, Beatty probably fits the build a little bit better.
Agreed. Fully agree.
Anybody else down here for you?
I don't think we need to get to anyone. I guess Maikel Garcia for the Royals is interesting. He's been up for 3 straight games, has hits in all 3. Third base outfielder, another righty-lefty.
Stole a
bag, yep. So he had 4 stolen bases in AAA this year. He had 39 stolen bases last year with 11 home runs hit. So,
and Nicky Lopez on the IL paving the way for his call up there. I'm pulling up MLB Pipeline here to see where he ranks inside their organization. He's not a top 100 prospect, but we'll see where they got him organizationally here for the Royals. Let's see, Kansas City. Third best prospect in their system. So
he's had back-to-back. He had 35 steals in 2021, and then he had 39 last year.
Yeah. So that's where they're at. Their third best prospect, first one major league ready. The other 2 guys ahead of him are only in single A. So I don't. Again, we do kind of like the Royals. We've been talking about it now for a few slates. They're
heating up, dude. They're heating up.
A team that can wake up and do some damage. So we'll see where he ends up, I guess, in that lineup. Another possible value if you're making multiple lineups here on this slate. Shortstop position. You have Trey Turner against Sale. Adames gets Minaya. Mookie Betts. Jorge Mateo's over 5K now. I mean, I don't know.
No, none,
right? Like maybe Bobby Witt if you're in Kansas City.
Yep, that's the one.
But I don't love much here.
No, Turner's been a 0. Adames has literally been a 0. If you look at his average over the last 10 games, it starts with the number.
It's not only that. 0. He's been a 0 against lefties, too.
Yeah, and against lefties, right. Mateo, like, he obviously can do damage. He can get on once, steal 2 bags, and score a run, and you're like, oh, 14 fantasy points. This is as good as a hit a home run. But I like Fried a lot. I'm not going to get too much Mateo. I love Bobby Witt. You can get to Lindor, but he's also been bad. Honestly,
wrong split side for him too.
Yeah, right? Wrong split. I think Correa has looked a little better of late. Hits in 3 straight games, including 3 extra base hits over that span, 4 RBI.
Are we going to play Edman at shortstop here?
Probably. That's probably the direction we're going to go. I will say too, Javi Baez.
Ezekiel Duran too, $2,700.
Yeah, he's been good for the Rangers. He came up last year and hit, and then like slowed down drastically.
Yeah. He's on
And it
fire right now.
yeah, that's a good call, John. I like Ezekiel Duran. He is
More,
on fire.
more righties against Anderson on this slate,
6 hits in 6 straight games. He had a 5 RBI streak too, 5-game RBI streak as well. Um, Again, he was like pretty good last year, and then he just kind of slowed down. So
Only 23. He entered last year as a top 100 prospect as well. So definitely.
how about this? Let me ask you a question: Duran 2,700 or Paul DeYoung 2,700 against Matt Boyd? Because DeYoung hitting 346 still with 1,000 OPS.
I know.
I'm not going to answer that question because people know I'm not a Paul DeYoung fan.
You're not a Paul DeYoung fan. I know.
So I'm leaving myself out of this question.
I think Duran. I
actually do think this is a pretty decent spot for DeYoung. Like, if there was a spot to play him, it's Matt Boyd feels okay.
Yeah, Boyd just has like strikeout potential.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does, and that's what DeYoung. Doesn't. Yeah. I agree on the Duran front. By the way, that's not me saying I am leaning.
No, I know.
But I do.
It feels like the way we talked about shortstop, it's Tommy Edman or it's Duran for me.
This year, Ezekiel Duran, again, very small sample, 20 at bats, but hitting 300 against lefties.
Yeah.
So 2,700. I like that call quite a bit.
See with what he did last year. Again, a little bit larger sample size. I mean, it was definitely a better split for him against lefties. Now, you mentioned he tailed off hard. So some gross numbers, 225 average, 269 on base percentage, but 449 slug against lefties. Yep. So if you can ignore the bad.
What was the ISO against lefties? We have it on baseball. If you're on Baseball Reference, I'll pull it up.
I'm on Baseball Reference. Yeah, I'm on Baseball Reference.
I'll get it on. We'll go to good friends over at Fangraphs.
Yeah, they got the ISO.
His ISO against left-handed pitching last year was 224.
I mean, that's a good number.
That is a very good
number.
That's a very good number. Let's see, because I think first half, yeah, he hit 258 in the first half of last year, and then he hit 226 after the break. He was a good player, a decent player, beginning half of the year. He just kind of fell off.
Yeah, strikes out a lot, but again, this year. This year's been better. So
I like that value call, John.
Yeah, Duran or Duran Ryman for shortstop for me. Outfielders here, large group obviously that we're peeking at. It, if Acuna is going to be fine, said he's going to be fine. Left Thursday. I would imagine he probably doesn't play on Friday.
He fouled. Yeah, he fouled it off his knee.
Yeah,
which stunk because I used.
But maybe that moves Harris to what, lead off, right?
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. Albies.
Or Albies, yeah, but it shifts. The lineup will shift.
Yeah, drastically.
So, decent spot for whoever gets that opportunity there. Evaldi's been pitching pretty good.
Yeah, outside of the one time this podcast,
he just can't beat the Royals, but everything else has been pretty good. I don't know how you feel on Ohtani or Trout. We didn't talk about Evaldi, and then we haven't talked about the Angels. So
I mean, you could use.
Is it just a limbo spot for both of us here?
Yeah, there's a case to be made for all of the above, right? There's a case to be getting to Evaldi. There's a case to.
Well, to be fair, he historically owns the Yankees, right?
Yes.
That is just
I mean, that's yes.
Been his thing, except when he pitched for the Yankees.
Except for when he pitched for us, yes.
And then he was actually owning the Yankees then as well.
Yeah, he was still owning the Yankees at that point. You could. You can play Ohtani and Trout are two of the best players we've ever seen. You can play them against whoever you want. And would I stack the Angels? Probably not.
No. Adolis at 57 is a steep price tag.
Look, you play
I feel
him.
You can't stack without him.
He's hitting fourth, and then he has a 60 fantasy point game on his resume.
I know.
This is. You know what's so funny? He's going to have another one of those games this year. And again, I know the stolen bases haven't been there, but he's still going to end with like 30 home runs and like 15 stolen bases. And then next year, you're going to be like, how the hell did he have this year once again?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, look, he is not on a day-to-day basis a $5,700 player. But you get him on that one day.
I will also say this: he is not even touching lefties this year. So
okay, so then here's the case to be made against him. Your 5 hitter will be Josh Jung.
yeah,
Your 6 hitter will be Jonah Heim. Your 7 hitter will probably be Ezekiel Duran.
yeah. Simeon also not hitting lefties. A 200 slug for Simeon against lefties this year. That's your 1 in 4 hitters in this.
Yeah, that's kind of
pretty good.
And Nathaniel Lowe hitting third, 188 average, which I don't think surprises us
Would
because
they hit Nathaniel Lowe
lefty.
even against a lefty there?
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he has 32. He has the most at bats on their team against lefties this year.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure where they would hit him in the lineup, but they'd keep him third.
They're going to hit him third. Yeah, they'll hit him third. You know who they're probably going to move up? Grossman. They probably move Robbie Grossman into the 2-hole.
Oh, Robbie Grossman, yeah.
He homered not too long ago against lefty.
Are we betting no run first inning maybe for this? Yeah. Anderson faces Simeon, Adolis.
I don't know. I don't know. Not if Robbie Grossman has anything to do about that.
Yeah, let's see. Robbie Grossman, $2,400 for Robbie Grossman.
Look at those last 10 games. Let's go, Robbie Grossman.
Man. I mean, like that. There's so many cheap Rangers today.
There are so many cheap Rangers.
Grossman against Southpaws this year.
It's been pretty bad.
Yeah, hasn't been good actually.
But if you look at last year was a almost a throwaway year, but I remember
last year 320, 443 slug, 880 OPS against lefties. So
and I think it was a 2021 thing as well. I feel like he's just been hitting lefties. 2021, 857 OPS,
477 slug against lefties. So
he's a 2-year sample versus a 20 at bat sample this year.
Yeah.
While he's in the best stretch of his season.
I'm checking some BVPs here. Why not? We'll finish it up. We'll finish off this range with some BVP numbers.
I got you. I got you. Want me to Robbie Grossman 0 for 4.
Okay.
Nothing there. Jonah Heim has homered off Tyler Anderson for what it's worth.
That's not bad. Adolis is 2 for now with 2 doubles. Okay.
Nothing with Anderson spending most of his time in the NL.
Yeah. All right. Under Adolis and outside of the Rangers, now that we've touched basically on everybody on their roster. Buxton, as you mentioned, he's 53.
Homered again on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm telling you, we're sitting here mentioning Buxton too much to not play him. It's like the Eloy thing. Again, Eloy Thursday again, homers, right? It's like I played Eloy on Wednesday, and you and I sat here and we touted Pablo Lopez, and Pablo Lopez did great.
Yep.
But Eloy still homered. And the same thing can be said. Giolito was great. Buxton still homered. It's just these dudes are just rolling.
Yeah.
When Byron Buxton is going this good, he is one of the best plays on a night-to-night basis because he just is. He could do everything. He just does everything.
Yeah. Corbin Carroll had missed a few games that entered today's game as a pinch hitter and then went 1 for 2.
Yep.
Gotta feel like that's a good signal for him to re-enter the lineup here. Going up against Josiah Gray. Josiah Gray has actually been pretty good this year because he's not throwing his fastball anymore.
Yep.
Only 4 total home runs allowed. Lefties actually aren't doing anything against him. 320 slug. Righties hitting him 439 slug there. But we are big stands here of Corbin Carroll. Any interest, or just because he's the same price as Buxton, that's the lean?
I mean, of course, it's interesting, Carroll, because the upside is so high. Even if he's not hitting a home run, and even if Josiah Gray is keeping the ball in the ballpark, we know Corbin Carroll has game-changing speed if he gets on the base path. Sure. So I'm perfectly fine getting to Carroll. I lean Buxton in this spot, but I'm perfectly fine getting to Corbin Carroll.
We talk like hottest hitter in baseball all the time, and we use that term loosely. But Masataka Yoshida is
Is the
hitting
hottest hitter.
He's hitting 462 with a 1300 OPS and a 795 slug over his last 10 games. He homered again tonight.
14 game hit streak.
Yeah, 14 game hit streak, at least 2 hits in 4 straight. I mean, runs in like every game basically. 7 RBIs the last 8 RBIs the lower game. So, well on his way to being over a 5K play shortly. Yoshida here at $4,900. Yes, just a long way to say yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's guy's been incredible.
I mean, Verdugo is day to day. We'll see if he's in the lineup. It was an illness related for Thursday. 545 slug for him. He's leadoff hitter, so yes, as well, probably if he's active here. What are we doing Philly bats against Chris Sale?
I would play guys with the most power because Sale. That's the only thing that Sale's like been bit by. He's been bit by the home run. I mean, he's allowed
early on, no homers in the straight, but 5 home runs in the first 3. So
true. Maybe he's figured it. I mean,
he got hit. I think the Baltimore. I want to say all the 5 earns weren't his.
So like he came in, let people on base, and then someone in relief.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that's how that happened. I could be wrong. Because it was 5 innings, unless he gave up hits in the 6th and they took him out. Maybe I could be misremembering it with a different game, but I thought those weren't all his runs, but or all his he didn't give up it, but maybe he did. But he was really good against Cleveland, 6 1/3 and earned 5Ks.
If you can play guys against them,
that's what I'm wondering. Like Castellanos is down here at $4,700. Really starting to get hot at the bat here. Power's coming around for him. We didn't talk about Alec Boehm or anybody like that, but I'm just curious what your thoughts were against Sale.
Well, how about this? If I were to play someone, and I'm sure it's a very small sample, and I'll look it up after this. Left-handed bats against Chris Sale this year, John, are batting .375 with a near 1,200 OPS and a .493 WOBA. And I can't imagine.
Harper and Schwarber have never faced him, so
I can't imagine that is a big sample if those type of numbers are like flashing on my screen, because like everything that Chris Sale does suggests that lefties should not. Yeah, so it's a 4-inning sample. He's faced 19 total lefties. So it's like kind of unfair to like. I can't even assess him from that side. If you want to play these guys, like they're fine. Another one of those situations. We have 11 games. Could I see a Philly or two doing some things? Sure. They have Bryce Harper back in their lineup, and they have Schwarber, who is like one of those players that can just hit 12 home runs in 11 games, and you're like, oh, right. But it doesn't feel necessary to me.
Okay. Brandon Nimmo's 44 against Senzatella.
Yep.
Don't mind that.
A little cooled off, but the whole Mets, other than Brett Beatty, really has. They've all cooled off.
True. Where else are we looking to go here?
I don't know. Jock Peterson could be interesting. I mean, Corbin Burns is not the best on the road. Brent Rooker gets a righty, but will Mitch Keller allow any fly balls? Find out later.
All right.
Michael Harris is probably as elite as it gets at $3,600. I don't think he should be this price. He jammed his knee, and they said he was available to play on Thursday, but they scored they scored a bunch of runs. They didn't need him to play on Thursday. So Michael Harris, 3,600 if he's back in the lineup, elite. And then Jarren Duran, another Red Sox with just doing everything kind of.
Yeah,
so I think Duran and Michael Harris would probably be the next 2 guys I get to at 36.
Yeah, I mean Duran. I mean, how do you argue with I mean, I said Yoshida was the hottest hitter in baseball, but Duran right there, 432, 1232, 757. And he has more stolen base potential than Yoshida. Yoshida's got the power. Duran has some power. Man, the Red Sox lineup, I don't know where they've come from, but on paper, that team did not look like they were going to be very good. And here they are.
Here, John, this is ready. This is Yoshida and Jaron Duran. You ready?
Yeah. we're blocked out a little bit, but the Spider-Man meme plays.
That's Yoshida and Duran right there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's funny. It's true. Pavin Smith's 34. Story Ruiz is 31. Rooker we didn't talk about, but like could go there against. He just threw so many ground balls with Keller.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Exactly the problem.
Ruiz could beat out ground ball singles though.
Yeah, I would rather. I mean, I would probably rather Ruiz, but probably not going to get to either.
2 stolen bases the other day for Ruiz as well.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a
RBIs in 4 straight for him too. Like,
yeah, he broke up not the no hitter, but he broke up the shutout the other day for our boy Miller.
Yep. Is there anybody else for you?
Yeah, Leody Taveras, another Ranger, cheap guy. Hilliard, 2,600. If he's in the lineup against
Trent Taylor did homer today. Tyrone Taylor rather did homer.
Tyrone Taylor, yes, he sure did. His only hit this year. If you want to go there, this is an interesting little tier. We mentioned the Robbie Grossman thing as well. Mm-hmm. He's been very good. All 3 of those guys, I would say, the 2 Rangers and Sam Hilliard are probably the guys I would go to.
All right. It's that time, James, where we build our lineups here. Before we do that, I just want to again remind everybody, if you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, go ahead, but sign up. FantasyAlarm.com/allpro. Promo code MLB50 saves you 50% off the first 6 months. There's now a 7-day free trial included in this as well. If you don't like it, cancel. That's fine, but I'm pretty sure you'll like it. You get access to all of our sports, not just baseball, and our premium Discord. This takes you right through that first month of the NFL season. So sign up today. FantasyAlarm.com/allpro using promo code MLB50, $19.98 for the first 6 months there. Lineup time here, James. Pitching. We kind of just want to sit in the mid-tier.
Yes.
We got Montgomery. Are we going Kelly? Are we going Fried? Did you want to go Javier? Where did we?
I wanted to go Fried.
Okay.
Personally, but I also understand getting to Christian Javier because there's really been nobody worse than Seattle lately. So if we could maybe if we had, let's go Fried and then we're maybe Brett Beatty at third.
You want to go Beatty at third over Duran?
Oh yeah.
Or Jung rather?
That's a fair point. And we're gonna probably use Duran.
Duran and Grossman, I think.
Yeah. And Heim.
Yeah. Heim. All right, first base. 5,100.
Matt Olson.
Matt Olson, yeah. Albies
at second.
And 2 outfielders, 5,200 and above. Sir Buxton, just throwing one off.
Absolutely.
And then
Yoshida,
sure, love it. There's the lineup, everybody. We got Montgomery, Fried, Heim, Olson, Albies, Jung, Duran, Grossman, a little Ranger stack there, Buxton, and Yoshida. We'll be back for the 5 o'clock live stream.